안녕하세요. 예스유학 줄리엣 컨설턴트입니다. Cardigan Mountain School은 뉴햄셔주 케이넨에 위치한 6학년부터 9학년 남학생들을 위한 명문 기숙사 학교입니다. 1945년에 설립된 이 학교는 세인트 폴스 스쿨에서 피터 스쿨로 불릴 만큼 탄탄한 학업 프로그램과 진학 실적을 자랑하고 있습니다. 현재 약 225명의 학생이 재학 중이며 교사대 학생 비율은 1대4로 각 학생에게 세심한 개인 맞춤형 지도를 제공하고 있습니다. 카디건은 학업뿐 아니라 스포츠 시설에도 많은 투자를 하고 있어 명문 시니어 보딩스쿨 진학을 준비하는 친구들에게 큰 기회를 제공하고 있습니다. 또한 한국인 코디네이터 교직원이 상주에 있어 한국 학생들이 학교 생활에 빠르고 안정적으로 적응할 수 있는 환경을 갖추고 있습니다. 예스유학은 Cardigan Mountain School과 오랜 기간 좋은 관계를 이어오고 있습니다. 이번 투어에서 만나 인터뷰를 진행한 입학처장 칩 어렉과는 2022년 서울에서 컨설턴트 미팅을 가진 바 있으며 2023년에는 교장 크리스 데이 그리고 국제학생 담당처장 조 버넷과 만나 최근 학교 소식과 예스유학 학생들의 성장 이야기를 나누었습니다. 앞으로도 Cardigan Mountain School과 예스유학이 함께 더 많은 멋진 인재들을 키워가기를 기대하며 아름다웠던 Cardigan Mountain School 캠퍼스를 한번 보러 가볼까요?
안녕하세요. 오늘은 카디건 마운틴 스쿨에 왔고요. 한번 캠퍼스 투어를 해보러 가겠습니다. 학교에서 이렇게 저를 웰컴 해주셨네요.
So this is one of the rooms in Hayward Hall, and just most of the rooms in all dorms kind of look like this.
And these are where the students are from.
Oh yeah, like most of the students are from different countries. And these are common rooms where students get their laptop if they wake up, and 그 laundry 같은 거를 놔두기도 하는 곳이고 common room.
So she's seeing a student right now in our exam room. So you know that this is what we do often during the day. Kids come in who don't feel well or are injured, and then they can see the nurse can see the student. We have nurses here 24/7 around the clock. We're open from 7 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, and then the nurses are on call. If a student has to stay overnight, the nurses stay with them.
Like these rooms are 진료실, exam room 그런 곳이고 여기 컨설팅부터 좀 작아서 바로 이 복도가 지나가면 끝입니다.
Well done job.
Yeah. 그리고 이 방은 가끔씩 심리 상담이나 그런 거라서 가끔씩. So this is the orchestra room that students want to practice for the band or some ensembles. Maybe that's violin, like flute or and right here we're having a music club now. These are like rooms for guitars, drums, pianos.
I'm Mr. Ford.
Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Nice
Pleasure to meet you.
you.
Hi. I'll shake your hand, but I'll let you film.
What's going on in here?
So today we're doing, this is week 2 of classes, so we're doing some musical analysis. So eventually at the end of this term, they're going to have written a song.
Oh wow!
Which
What?
they find really exciting. So we kind of start the year off by listening to music
Yeah.
and analyzing music of artists that we enjoy.
Is this you?
Yeah, that photo was taken last year by a couple of 9th graders.
Oh, wow.
Because they knew I had a broken guitar that was beyond repair. So they thought it would be great for their photography class to have somebody smash it. So
I like that.
being a
It's
musician
different.
who loves rock and roll,
Yeah.
I grabbed the opportunity to smash a guitar.
You guys are just visiting today?
Yes.
Hey, Jason, how are you doing?
They're giving me a tour. This is my first time on campus.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Yes.
everything is so new.
Yeah, we just missed our biggest robotics class that is very head down working on the robots for their news tournament the 1st of November.
Thanks.
Yeah, so they're strategically trying to figure out what they're going to do, whether defensive or offensive, and then starting their builds.
Are you in this class, Jason? No? What
We're
about
both in music class. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's an opt-in for 8th and 9th, but there are only certain sections that can opt in, and so you sort of have to shuffle into that section to be able to choose it. But we're working on making that for everyone. It's just a scheduling issue.
I'm touring for our teacher kids. So
Nice. Do you have any questions about the arts? Because I'm the department chair and can I know that's a big thing for a lot of students, especially like a lot of guys like Liam. I know that Liam, he's my advisee, does like a summer arts program, or did at least 2 years. Did you do one this summer too?
Yeah, this summer I kind of worked for some visual arts.
So like they're all like, trying to like boost their resumes for secondary school applications and stuff. So a lot of these guys do that too. So if there's any question about the arts, let me know.
I will.
Hi, Coach. So most of the students, all students have to come at Monday during morning break for the all-school meeting.
Hi, Mr. Templeton. Nice to meet you. Most of the other days they meet with their advisory groups. So about five to six per group. Yeah.
Also, we have a fall play and spring play at this play.
Are you involved in any theater stuff? No. Are you?
I'm involved.
I'm the assistant to Jeff Good, who's the theater teacher here. So I'm his apprentice for the year. I'm working for him. So I'm covering one year. Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Nice to meet you. How's the tour going? Good. Good job, too.
영어나 역사 보조 수업 같은 거 많이
Have an opportunity to speak to become also the school leader for the following year, and then we vote again and associate with the person who came up the top voter. Yes.
So this building is for. 뭐 이거는 쌤들이 키우는 뭐랬지? 애완동물 같은 거고요. Peaks like for ninth graders and English classes. English and history. How's it going? Good, are you?
I'm well, thanks. You guys are in good hands. Good morning.
English class, history class. 이런 식으로 이루어지고요.
안녕하세요. 오늘은 Cardigan Mountain School에 왔고요. 제가 오늘 모신 선생님은 칩 아렛 선생님이시고 우리 Cardigan Mountain의 입학처장님이십니다. 칩?
Yes, my name is Chip Audette. I'm the Director of Admissions at Cardigan Mountain School. This is my 19th year here. My son graduated from Cardigan in 2016, so I love it here.
Thank you, Chip. So every school has a distinct atmosphere. You can often feel it within 5 minutes of stepping on campus, and definitely I felt that walking onto Cardigan Mountain. If you had to capture your school's energy in 3 words, what would they be, and can you give me a snapshot of why?
I think certainly it's friendly and welcoming, so there's 2 words. We really work to make the visitors that come to Cardigan feel welcome from the start, with a parking spot, a welcome sign. But that's just sort of the surface, because we know once the visitors meet the boys and go out on tour and observe classes, meet some of the faculty members, they'll understand that this is a very friendly, welcoming, and kind environment. We recognize that here in Canaan, New Hampshire, we're a little bit off, as we say, the beaten path. So we want, when people make the commitment to come visit, we want them to get that feel, which is genuine.
I definitely felt that welcome.
Great.
So thank you so much. We always tell families that finding the right school is about more than rankings or facilities. It's about the feeling and the fit for the student. Each of the students that are applying. What is something about your school, whether it's a value, tradition, approach, or even mindset, that genuinely sets it apart from the other junior boarding schools?
Well, I think when we're asked to distinguish Cardigan from the other schools, or differentiate Cardigan from the other junior boarding schools, we're primarily boarding. We have 210 boarders every year, and typically 20 to 25 day students. We have classes 6 days a week. This is all geared around a residential community, with community being the operative word. We work really hard with these boys to instill a sense of community, instill in them what it means to be a member of a community, and the responsibility that each individual has beyond themselves. Because that sense of community, sense of responsibility is going to be important to them throughout their lives after they leave Cardigan. We really believe, too, that there's never been a more important time to be educating middle school boys. There's a lot of noise out there, and we're not trying to have them escape from reality, but have them in an environment with their peers, with really caring adults, so that they can, we want them to sort of grow, develop, and mature into good young men.
Every school has a mission statement, but how that mission actually shows up in daily life is what really matters. Could you share how Cardigan's core values or mission are lived out by students and leaders on a normal day?
Yeah, you'll see the mission is, if I were to sum it up, is to educate middle school boys for a life of responsibility in a global community. We're a pretty diverse community with boys from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, very different socioeconomic categories, all living together. And there has to be an understanding of one another, an appreciation of one another. I think that because we're primarily a residential community, these guys are spending a lot of time with one another, even more so than in a secondary school because of the structure of a junior boarding school. And they gain an appreciation of one another and an interest in one another. I think when you see boys cheering on their classmates at an athletic event, and then you see the same thing happening in the theater production or a musical concert, that's where you see that genuine interest in and appreciation for the talents and interests of one another. And it's important to, in a community like this, they have to have compassion, they have to have integrity and respect for one another. And we recognize those things. And they're not just, posted on the walls everywhere. That's a good reminder for the boys, but they need to live them, and we use that as teaching tools too.
For many of our families, this is their child's first time living away from home, very, very far away. Could you walk us through a typical weekend here at Cardigan? What kind of activities or traditions do students look forward to?
So the weekend is short here. We have classes every Saturday. They end at lunchtime. After classes, the boys will have their sport or activity. So the weekend really consists of the end of sports and activities on Saturday until study hall and Sunday evening. Our faculty is divided into, we call it weekend teams. So from Saturday evening on through Sunday, they are offering different on-campus activities. The facilities are open. The student center snack bar is open. But we also we'll have a series of off-campus trips, all chaperoned by our faculty members. They might go to a current movie in Hanover or Lebanon. They might go to a Dartmouth athletic event, or go to Five Guys, or shopping at Target or Walmart to get things that they need or want at least. So we don't have this mass exodus from campus. First of all, we only have really 20 to 25 day students. So we try and offer enough options for boys. Sundays are the one day when they can just relax. They can take advantage of those activities and offerings, but they don't have to. They can, because it's a very structured, busy schedule for these guys.
Yeah, it seems so. Food is such a central part of daily life. It is for me 100%. And for many students, it's a comfort and also a cultural bridge. How would you describe the dining experience at Cardigan? Are there any food traditions, themed meals, or fun quirks?
For example, yesterday was Mexico Liberation Day. So that lunch was kind of a Mexican theme. We'll certainly have different theme nights, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and all the not breakfast, but lunch and dinner. Probably particularly attractive for the Korean boys is there's always a rice bar, there's kimchi, there's all sorts of the sort of condiments that go with that type of type of meal. Food is one of the things boys will always complain about. Even it could be from a 5-star restaurant, and they're still going to find. But it's pretty good here.
Thank you. You've probably met so many different kinds of students, whether they're shy, bold, academically driven, super athletic. But is there a common thread among the ones who truly thrive here at Cardigan?
It's pretty easy for us to make an academic assessment on an application, but what we're looking for beyond that is this a boy that exhibits some interest in, because they're not going to all be jumping up and down, jumping for joy about heading off to boarding school at such a young age. But is there a sense that they look around and they say, this is probably going to be okay. Whether they come with interests or experiences in music, art, or athletics, something outside of the classroom, or if they just have an interest, maybe they haven't had an opportunity to pursue those activities. But we're really looking for some sense that they want to be involved in a school community, a sense that eventually they'll be willing to step outside their comfort zone, try something new. And then from an academic standpoint, intellectual curiosity, a desire to learn, and really just take advantage of the opportunities that schools like this offer.
We are often asked about the numbers first from the families that come to us. So could you share what percentage of your students are international? And how many Korean students are currently attending Cardigan?
Overall, we have about 37% international. Sort of our big three is Mexico, China, and Korea. Korean numbers probably are somewhere around 25 to 30, depending on whether you're counting the boys who live in Korea but have U.S. citizenship. We also have some Korean Americans. I mean, who've grown up and, for all intents and purposes, have spent their lives in the U.S. We are always working to diversify our international population. One thing that I will say about the Korean population, though, is I started here 19 years ago. When I arrived, we probably had, in terms of application, 75 applications from Korea. And each year, maybe going to take 8 or 10 kids. Virtually everyone was very well qualified academically, very often played a string instrument or played the piano and then a string instrument. Great kids. At the time, the parents very much saw this as sort of a stepping stone. I would love my son to go to Harvard, Yale, or Princeton. To do that, he has to go to St. Paul's, Exeter, Andover. And if Cardigan can give him a jump start on that to get into those schools, great. Now the kids are much more balanced in terms of their experiences, their interests. And the families really value this experience in and of itself. There certainly is, there still exists with the Korean parents almost a transactional idea that if my son goes to Cardigan, he's going to have a better chance at a highly selective, and that's fine. But and it's true now because these boys are incredibly well balanced. Korean boys on varsity sports teams, typically like ice hockey, probably our best alpine skier for the last 2 years is a boy from Korea, and he's now at a ski academy. And they've always been very talented, typically in music and the arts. That's what's really exciting.
So some Korean parents are unsure about the all boys model at first, until they actually see the results. From your experience, Chip, what are the biggest advantages of an all boys education at this age?
Well, I think an all boys education is not only foreign to international families, it's foreign to most people and most of our domestic families too. Most of our boys are going on to co-ed secondary schools, but at this age, with middle school boys, they are growing and developing and hopefully maturing at a different rate than their female counterparts. When you get them together among their peer group in a residential setting like this, we're able to kind of eliminate the social posturing, peer pressure of a co-ed environment. They're allowed to sort of be boys. Middle school boys are they're going to be goofballs, and sort of, as my wife put it, there's going to be knucklehead middle school boy stuff, harmless stuff, but in an all boys environment, it's okay. We expect that. We don't. We want them to grow out of that phase. It's natural. I think the other thing is my wife and I see as our son's what he gained from being in an all boys environment. He was always a good student. Wasn't a particularly gifted athlete, but it was an enthusiastic participant in sports. What he really gained, though, was he was able to develop a strong sense of self. It was important to him, and a responsibility beyond himself. And I think that being in an environment with boys, and as I said, without the social posturing, peer pressure showing off for the girls or being embarrassed about things. I think it's an environment that's more conducive, as I said, to stepping outside their comfort zone and being comfortable with themselves, so that when they leave here, as I said, most of them will go into a co-ed environment successfully.
Right. So speaking of co-ed, as you know, most senior boarding schools are co-ed, which many Korean families already know.
Yeah.
For boys who've come through your all-boys education here at Cardigan, how do you think that experience prepares them socially, emotionally, and academically when they move into a co-ed high school setting?
You know, academically, they're very well prepared, and ranging from the kids, you know, going to the most selective places to other schools that maybe are less so, but still strong academically. Socially and emotionally, in terms of moving to a co-ed environment, and this may seem like a little old-fashioned, but we place a lot of emphasis on these boys being young gentlemen. Manners, opening doors, looking people in the eye, and I think the natural development and maturation of the boys, they grow out of being middle school boys.
Stop being goofballs.
And we have female teachers, we have faculty daughters. We don't have a sister school. There's no sister school in the area, but they adjust fine. I mean, I think part of just being in a boarding school environment and having an appreciation of and understanding of others is really important.
Thank you for sharing that. So you've seen so many applications over the years, Chip. Some are polished, some are a little rougher on the edges, but many are very full of potential. Is there one piece of advice you wish every applicant understood before starting the process, whether it's about the interview process, writing their essays, or even their mindset?
Yeah, I think probably their mindset is the most important thing. You know, do some research about schools. There aren't that many junior boarding schools. They're all a little bit different. And there's likely to be a good fit for every in our instance, for every boy. If we could find a word that we could use instead of interview, that would still legitimize, almost in the eyes of the parents, that okay, this is an important process. It's not meant to be a grueling interview.
Like a test.
It's supposed to be a conversation, but also it's their opportunity to learn about the school, to learn about the opportunities that they'll have, as well as for us to get to know them a little bit. But it's a conversation. Thankfully, we've gotten away from that. But at the end of the sort of admission process each year, we would have piles of, art portfolios, and it's mostly digital now, which is a lot easier. We still have boys that'll come in with their art, and that's great. If they're going to see themselves at this school, what is it that they want to make sure that we offer, or what the community is like? We'll see in essays that are very polished, and that's okay. In particularly for international students, we assume that one of the reasons they're looking is to develop their English language skills. So we're not grading their essays. Obviously, you want to have somebody proofread it, but you don't want somebody basically just rewriting it for you. In terms of test preparation, I've spoken with candidates whose TOEFL junior score was relatively low, yet they could carry on a conversation. And on the opposite end, I've had sort of tried to have conversations with kids who you think, okay, well, your TOEFL junior is 850.
Right.
You ought to be able to. So just, I think, be themselves. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. So we know who you are, what you're all about, and you know what we're all about. I think is probably the best advice.
That is the best advice.
It's junior boarding school.
Yeah, it's not like
yeah,
college.
It's not college. It's not, you're not applying to medical school.
No.
Here. So I think that's really important. Just be yourself.
We know how powerful it is for Korean families to meet the admissions team or you in person, whether it's at a fair, it's a school visit, or even a one-on-one meeting. Are there upcoming plans for you to visit Korea this year or next year?
Yeah, I the only time I haven't gone to Korea was during COVID, from year one here, probably 2007, I guess. I will be in Seoul. That's really important to us. Faculty members will say, and they'll just wonder. It's probably a legitimate wonder. Well, why do you go to Korea? They seem to come to us and say, well, that doesn't always have to be the case. I mean, who knows? But being able to go to Korea, meet the families, meet the kids on the ground in their hometown. And understand more about the place and about the kids and their families and the culture is really important.
It's really special.
It's also, frankly, it's fun. Boys from Korea we're so fortunate, but they're so fortunate to have this opportunity because it's only available to a tiny percentage of middle school boys. Also, I look at my son's experience. He has lasting relationships now with boys from Korea, Japan, New York City, California. This opportunity being available to boys from different parts of the world, different backgrounds, different cultures that's the most gratifying part of being an admissions person in my mind.
That's a very touching.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share specifically with the Korean parents, especially for those who might be exploring junior boarding schools in the US or considering Cardigan Mountain?
Yeah, I think that there are I guess 11 in the Junior Boarding School Association now. They're all a little bit different. I think that and many of them will work with consultants that have been to Cardigan or been to any junior boarding school, that have been on the campus. That's really really valuable insights for families to begin, because you'll have an idea of Cardigan and Rectory and all the junior boarding schools, and when you meet with a boy and his family, you'll at least be able to narrow it down a little bit for them. I think the advice that I would, be, if they're able to visit the schools, then absolutely, that's an important experience. But if they are, there's not a bad decision to make. You can, visit 5, 6, 7 schools, and be well guided by a consultant in this group, whatever group of schools they're suggesting. But then understand that it's your son that's going to live it. And if he says, hopefully Cardigan is where I want to be, then listen to that. If he says that Rectory or wherever is where I think I'll be the most comfortable, then go with that, because as I said, it's your son that's going to live it. And these are all good places. And your son can go anywhere from it. It's going to be based on what he does at the school that he chooses, how much he takes advantage of the opportunities there, going on to the next step.
For sure.
But there's not a bad decision to make.
Okay, well,
All right.
thank you so much for taking your time to see me
Yeah.
and answering series of lots of questions.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been here 19 years, so obviously I'm 65 years old. I'm not going anywhere.